anybody does a video, obviously you want to present yourself in the best possible light, and sometimes you don't always look it in that way, or the light conditions aren't good enough. But I think most of it comes from within, like happiness is an inside job. And while we're into, how can I call it? Well, they're not memes, but certain expressions that stand the test of time. How about, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Well, I'll ask you to reflect on that for a minute. Because if you knew you wouldn't fail, doesn't that demand some kind of faith, maybe even absolute faith? But it's very difficult to maintain absolute faith 100% of the time. I'm sure if you're going to undertake some kind of difficult or challenging task or process, you have to have faith in your own ability, and faith, I mean, even just getting on something like a fairground ride, have faith it's not going to collapse under you. And the interesting thing is, you have no control over that. So there are many times that we have faith, and again, you know, any kind of activity, driving your car, you are not aware of it, well, I'm certainly not, that we have to put faith in these things. But as a recovering academic, I've spent most of my life challenging everything. And again, in this world of duality, challenging everything's good in some ways. But when you strip everything away, there has to be a core of faith. And I've just, again, reflected on a way of looking at that. If you look at all the stuff that's been pushing at us, like to atomise us, to divide us, to deny the existence of a higher power, if you turn all that on its head, because at a very deep level, even maybe it's at a superficial level, you know it's all nonsense, then if there is a higher power, which there clearly is, if we are all one, which we clearly are, then faith in that higher power, faith in our oneness, surely is the antidote to the current nonsense that besets us. So, while this is part of the Love Trilogy series, I'm going to concentrate on a couple of things. I mean, Love Heals Unconditional Love, that's all about the first workshop, the second workshop, and the third workshop. It's all about the books. But the thing I want to spend time on, and it'll be in the video that follows this, is this idea of absolute faith. Faith can move mountains. I'll leave you with this thought. A person who's really introduced me to this, Christopher Macklin, who lives in America, is a healer, originally from part of the world I used to live in, the northwest Cheshire. Some years ago, I think I may have got this right, apologies Christopher if I haven't, he decided to test his faith by ingesting, or having injected into him, I'm not sure which it was, snake venom that was 3 or 5 times the lethal dose. And some people would describe that as insanity, or incredible courage and bravery, subscribing to absolute faith. Because if you had absolute faith, if you knew, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you couldn't die? Is pretty impressive, exceptionally impressive, and it makes the point as far as I'm concerned. So, enjoy the rest of your day. More to follow. Love to you all. Namaste. Bye.